Welcome to a 1v1 on Road to Kharkov. This game's going to be Lumpy vs. Dominator. Lumpy playing as Oster in the north and Dominator playing as Soviets in the south, going with Tier 1 Soviets. 2 combat engineers and 2 grenadiers for Lumpy. So we're probably going to be seeing an M3. The flamethrower inside.
Scout troops can now be recruited.
Combat engineers moving to take control of 2 different fronts simultaneously, I think. A little slow on getting that one moving, though, after they build their tech structure right there. There they go. And he does need to wait for the 15 fuel for the scout car, so he's probably... Ooh, sniper opening. Okay, I misread that. I definitely misread that. On this map, it should perform pretty okay, but I feel like a sniper opening is going to leave him very low on map control. So we'll see how that works. Grenadiers moving to take control of various strategic points here at the opening, and Pyo's taking control of the fuel here in the north.
We have taken it.
MG42 in production.
Sniper has arrived.
Lumpy has close air support, lightning warren, mechanized assault against Dominator's what is this again? Defensive tactics, Soviet Reserve Army, and Soviet Industry. So that's an interesting loadout. There are no guards at all. No guards. May actually make this map a little difficult. Just a little difficult. Curious to see what he's going to do. I don't know if I think Reserve Army would be very good on this map. I don't know if I think any of these things would be that good on this map against Oster, especially not Oster close air support. So, may prove to be a difficult game for Dominator here with this rather non-meta loadout and non-meta opening of 2 combat engineers into sniper into penal battalion. Very weird stuff. He should be able to force a retreat against a lone grenadier squad as long as his combat engineers can keep them away from the sniper. Fuel cache going up right there. Oh no, it's already almost destroyed. Oh god, how much manpower did he just lose right there? I think that was 200 manpower just melted instantly. Oh, that's so bad that that just happened. Sniper is trying to kite, takes 2 shots on grenadiers, but the loss of that cache in the beginning is really expensive. Wow. That grenadier squad, however, is actually a pretty good trade. They just got melted. Is he seriously building another cache mid-combat? Apparently that one is probably going to be fine, though. That one's going to be fine. Grenadiers will be forced to retreat. Snipers up to 4 kills in the opening engagement, including the wipe of a Grenadier squad. So, I guess this game's pretty even so far. They both currently have 4 squads of various shapes and sizes.
Engineers standing by.
I have a feeling there may be a satchel charge tossed into that building, which would be extremely bad for Lumpy. Machine gun is going to reposition out of the building just in case. Penal Battalion will continue to take control of this cutoff point, or simply jump into that building to provide additional vision for the sniper, which is up to 6 kills firing at that Grenadier squad. Penal Battalion is going to destroy the building entirely with that satchel, which I don't know if I think that was really worth it. It will deny the building to Lumpy. But I think it was naive to expect him not to dodge that, considering there are no other engagements happening anywhere. Combat engineers take control of the strategic point right here, and Penal Battalion is moving to grab the center, while combat engineers might rotate towards this cutoff, and Lumpy will be off to a pretty horrible start. Considering one cache got destroyed immediately, and another one got built thereafter, Soviet player is operating on an extremely small force right now. And yet, he seems to be winning engagements due to some seriously bad mismicro by Lumpy there in the beginning, where he let that Grenadier squad get wiped and doesn't seem to be doing a whole lot better at managing the threat of the sniper here in the 5-minute mark. Tier 2 going up once he has a scout car to chase that sniper down. He will be able to do so largely unopposed. There are no mines, no AT grenades, no conscripts even on the field at all. And a 222 autocannon upgrade could probably destroy that fuel cache, so Scout Car will probably be his go-to counter to pretty much everything his opponent has done so far this game. And Dominator has locked in Soviet industry. Locked in industry with only 4 squads on the field and a 2 cache early game build, which is rather risky. Once the 3 CP manpower penalty kicks in, he's not going to be able to make very many squads. But of course the fuel bump should help. Should definitely help. Penal Battalion's probably going to need to retreat soon. There it goes. Sniper is trying to win an engagement solo against the flamethrower at close range, and his forced retreat takes a big burst of fire damage right there. But it will get away with no crits, and Pyos are getting control of this sector. So, with Scout Car in production now and everything forced to make a full retreat into the base, this should give Lumpy a pretty significant opportunity to get some territory back and hopefully slow down this T-70. No 3 CPs either for Dominator. If he could have stuck around a little longer, gotten a little bit more XP, he would have had that additional fuel income right now that maybe would have helped him get a T-70 out quicker. Unfortunately, didn't find a way to stay relevant in engagements long enough that wouldn't have just been overly costly to him. So it looks like the T-70 might be a little bit on the late side. He will hit 3 CPs as a result of the building completing though. It'll give him XP when the building's done. And then his fuel's going to start coming in pretty quick. He'll be able to get a T-70 out within the next minute, I think. Flamethrower working on the victory point over here. Tier 3 will be done soon. Flamethrower moving up to support the sniper on the left side. And the autocannon is moving to destroy that fuel cache unopposed. There goes the fuel cache.
Enemy contact. Need something. Enemy forces are neutralizing a sector.
This cutoff is being taken, but a T-70 is going to hit the field pretty soon. These 2 squads need to back away from this engagement in the south. Autocannon is a pretty hard counter to both of these squads. Neither of them can engage very effectively against that scout car. Sniper has had to retreat all the way back to base, and Lumpy is getting control of pretty much everything, but Dominator will have access to the T-70 very soon. There's the 70 fuel. If he queues that up now, he should have no problem forcing all of this back off the field. It does queue up the T-70, and it will complete almost immediately thanks to the industry bonus, and it's on its way to the front line. And even cut off, Dominator does have 26 fuel coming in, so manpower is probably his biggest concern, and he should just try not to bleed too much against that scout car while he can avoid it. Sniper's going to make its way back to the front line, supported by that T-70. It should have no problem against that 3-man flamethrower squad. T-70 is going straight for the scout car, when really picking up this wipe would probably be a better thing for him to do. He does want to push that scout car off the battlefield, but I don't think he should be diving straight down this road. There could be a teller mine. He's not giving any mine super support at all. He's just diving that scout car without a care in the world. Fortunately, Lumpy is not prepared for this T-70 in the least, and the T-70 will be able to hunt and kill the scout car unpunished by mines or AT guns or anything. There is an AT gun on the field, but unfortunately it was not in position for that, and that T-70 will get away pretty clean. After taking a pretty significant amount of damage, though, from something. I guess just autocannon fire. Oh! Oh, that snipe! Oh, that's such a tragedy! Was it really that low just from getting shot by a 222? I guess so. I feel like there might have been a little bit of RNG involved in that. I don't know. Lucky hit from max range by that AT gun, too. Wow, so T-70 will go down, but he'll also be able to make a new one pretty soon, as long as he gets a little bit of map control back. Both of them losing their light vehicle definitely goes in favor of Lumpy, though that is a very favorable trade for him. Dominator floating 600 manpower right now.
Taking heat.
That's alright, Bike Rush.
Machine gun has our range.
But thank you, I appreciate the gesture. Flamethrowers taking control of the cutoff and strategic points right here, and fuel point also being taken. Sniper moving up to fire on those grenadiers. MG42 almost suppresses the flamethrower right there, but it just barely gets around the corner. Sniper in a little bit of danger, engaging that Grenadier squad at point blank range. Grenadier's definitely overextended right there. I don't think they're going to get away. Maybe, if they don't get sniped by the Penal Battalion. Or Sniper gets clear of the Sniper's range. Penal Battalion will not quite secure the Sniper right there. Wow, I cannot believe that just got away. Sniper will force retreats from both Grenadier squads though, and nothing will stop it from forcing the machine gun from this building. Probably also forcing back that AT gun right there. Repair station built on the base, and a new T-70 is in production. And Dominator will have to have a very dramatic impact with that T-70. Much more dramatic than the impact he had with his first one, obviously. Hopefully, Lumpy is going to be a little more prepared for this next one. He's got one AT gun out, but still no Teller mines. Might consider planting one. He's got the munitions for one. And he has gone mechanized assault, so once he can make a Stugi, he'll have a pretty effective weapon against T-70s there as well. Soviet fuel coming in from this point is going to make tank production that much faster though, coming in at 33 per minute. That'll be 1 T-34 every 3 minutes if he doesn't expand map control any further from here, but he should. He probably should be able to get some territory with this light tank. Since there's not really anything to counter it right now, except for a lone AT gun on the left, which is also dangerously unsupported. He's gonna drive right down this road again without minesweeper support. At least he avoided the road and drove through the right area right there. Still pretty dangerous though, to drive through that without a minesweeper. Man, that snipe. T-70 snipes a flamethrower, and there's a half track on the field for forward reinforcement, but that doesn't really help against that T-70 that much. AT gun is rotating center to help in these engagements, and Dominator is currently taking control of everything right. Getting the cutoff, this cutoff, Sniper taking the VP, and all this territory falling into Soviet control, which means Lumpy has almost no fuel income right now. Although that Penal Battalion is going to make an oddly premature retreat away from the cutoff, so Lumpy will be able to take it back unopposed. I'm not sure why he retreated right there. That was weird. And Dominator is currently up to 1,000 manpower. Should probably spend that on something. I know that industry has a tendency to have manpower issues late game, but you don't need to stockpile that much. Even just some extra combat engineers for faster repairs could be helpful for capping power. Something to keep in mind. It's important to float as it is important to float as industry though. You really do have to. Not this much, but you do have to float. 2 T-70s on the field now. Double T-70 on the field now, moving up into the middle to apply pressure to this forward reinforced point. Grenadiers may struggle to out-reinforce damage from those T-70s cost effectively, but there is one AT gun set up right here. If those T-70s expose themselves for too long,
Brave infantry have made the ultimate sacrifice.
they will go down, and that sniper just jumped out into red cover like it was no big deal and died to LMG fire. So that was kind of a strange decision. But okay, so much for that sniper. Penal Battalion making its way left to take control of the VP, and Dominator will slide up to 1,000 manpower. Combat engineers get back control of the left side cutoff while the Penal Battalion is taking the VP. 2 T-70s are a very serious threat to this. Why would he not chase that, though? Those are some easy wipes. Once Grenadiers hit retreat, you should always chase as hard as possible with those T-70s. Try and gun them down. Although, there could be Teller mines. So you do need to try and be careful of Teller mines, but clearly Lumpy just is not planting them. Oh no! AT guns set up a little overly aggressively. Oh, why would they backpedal right there? They should have tried to get clear of the arc of fire of those AT guns, and it's stuck on the wreck. Oh my god, this is such a mess. AT guns slowly trying to fire. Is he really gonna plant a demo charge on this one? Is it gonna actually work? Oh my god, you've gotta be kidding me. Wow, suicide demo combat engineers right there will successfully blow up that AT gun, and this one might get destroyed as well.
We have a new T-34. The enemy is in our territory. We're builders, not killers. Why are they shooting at us?
But here comes the Stug E. Oh no, that Penal Battalion has to run away. T-70 will continue firing at the Rex AT gun right there. It's taking a little while to destroy it though. There it goes. AT gun destroyed. Penal Battalion gets away with only 1 man remaining. Dominator still floating 1,000 manpower despite the purchase of this T-34. He absolutely really should make some more infantry. He is not going to win this game with 2 squads. That's just impossible. It's not going to happen. Although his tanks, one of his tanks does have secure mode. So I guess he can capture territory with this thing, technically, but it's probably not really what he wants to be doing with it. Not to mention the Stug E is a very serious problem for his T-70. The T-34 is a threat to the Stug E, however. Really, Dominator just needs to try to prevent Lumpy from making it to Tigers, and he needs to maintain control of his cutoff. If he doesn't keep his fuel coming in pretty fast, he's not going to be able to make tanks, even though he's industry. His fuel is coming in pretty quick because he's industry, but it's not coming in so quick that he doesn't even need to maintain control of his cutoff point.
Enemy forces are capturing our supplies.
Because 26 is alright, but it's not that good. It's not going to allow him to create that legendary Soviet industry tank swarm that's actually capable of taking on Tigers.
The enemy has taken our supply sector.
Which is going to require 3 to 4 T-34s in all likelihood. But having both of those AT guns destroyed definitely helps. That definitely helps.
The sector has been cut off.
Yes, comrade?
Stug fires at the T-70 right there. Oh, it's taking a lot of damage. Panzerfaust is a big hit. T-34 is probably going to scare that T-70 Stug off, though. My brain gets so confused by how to pronounce this unit now. I'm so used to saying both Stug and Stug that sometimes I'm like, wait, what is it called? Stug. That's the only unit that I actually pronounce with a German accent. For no reason, just arbitrarily. I make no effort to pronounce Broombear, Kubelwagen, Grenadier, whatever, anything else with a German accent, but for some reason I just like saying Stug. Maybe because it's so easy. So easy. Panzer. Nothing else. Nothing at all. 2 T-34s moving up the right side, fully prepared, fully ready for this engagement. Tank swarm is steadily growing, and plus 45 fuel income is a much better looking Soviet industry fuel income to actually get those tanks out at a reasonable rate. Stug making its way left. We'll chase away that flamethrower right there as well.
The enemy is taking what we have secured.
No reaction at all. There's two T-34s sitting there, and Grenadiers didn't react in any way, shape, or form to that, and there is a completely isolated Stug over here with two T-34s headed straight for it. Is he going to do anything about this? I feel like that Stug's going to die right now. It's also stuck on the stupid victory point flag. Victory point flag is now driving straight towards those T-34s. It's pretty cut off. If those T-34s, maybe he just doesn't know where the Stug is. He really should try and hunt that down while he has this opportunity. There's really nothing on the field right now that can counter these T-34s. The Tiger's not going to arrive for a little while as he waits for manpower to come in. T-34s will pick up a fuel cache right there. T-70 is fully repaired, and another T-34 will be available soon. It takes about 3 T-34s to take on a Tiger. If they can both get, if 2 can get behind a Tiger, they can win. Especially if a well-timed ram on the first T-34 to fall low connects nicely. But generally, it takes about 3. So much for the Stug. Stug goes down hard. 2 T-34s going up against these infantry. Lumpy continues to engage without any counter to these tanks whatsoever, but he does have the resources for Tiger. Needs to field that now before these T-34s rampage through the base and kill everything. Panzerfaust connects with that tank, and the Tiger is on its way to try and save the day. These 2 squads are going to retreat back into the base for healing. T-34 fortunately pulling back to get repairs on its engine. Meanwhile, on the right side, a repair station is up on the right side. Munitions. Flamethrower, Penal Battalion trying to force away these Grenadiers. Tiger doesn't look like it's sure exactly what it wants to do. Half track is just sitting in the base. Apparently the tier 1 structure is under attack from this T-34. Satchel charge on those Grenadiers will prompt them to retreat, and the T-70 is going in on them to try and get the wipe. But it looks like they are going to get away. By the way, Lumpy never recovered his flamethrower right here. There's the Tiger. Tiger goes in on the T-70 but misses its initial shot. These 2 T-34s trying to go in on the Tiger, but all of their shots are bouncing off the frontal armor. 1 shot penetrates though. Pretty good. Pretty good lucky penetration right there at maximum range. T-34 will continue to just kite for now. Most shots bouncing. Big hit from the Tiger. Damages the T-34 significantly. All tanks look like they're going to pull back to safety, except for that T-70, which is a little stranded. Tiger will run over the hedgerow in the middle, bring the T-70 to half. And the T-70 is destroyed by the Tiger right there, but T-34 shots on the frontal armor of that Tiger bring it pretty low, pretty dangerously low, and it looks like Dominator thinks he might feel comfortable going in. He's a little indecisive. He's not sure what he wants to do. Takes a few more long shots at the Tiger, but not overcommitting to the engagement. Another Grenadier squad looks like it is going to get wiped during this, unfortunately, and the Tiger is going to await some repairs here in the Oster base. Throughout the course of this, most of Lumpy's squads working on the left side to slow down the victory point drain have also finally planted a Teller mine. And these tanks are all going to pull back to the repair station on the right side of the map. Dominator's back down to just 2 squads of infantry. He did have an extra combat engineer squad at one point, but unfortunately they got wiped at some point. Dominator has excellent map control right now, though, having the north cut off and all of the high resource points in the south, plus a double cap going against Lumpy, so the victory points are in his favor, although he is very behind. He cannot afford any slip-ups from this point, and if he doesn't destroy that Tiger with a T-34 swarm, there's a pretty good chance he's going to lose this game. Lumpy doesn't need to take victory point control for very long to take this.
We are ready to build it or blow it.
Mine going down right here in the road. T-34 on its way. 4 T-34s on the field. This looks like it could be the decisive engagement. Tiger's about to be fully repaired and will move to engage and assist. T-34's focus firing. Those Grenadiers will prompt them to retreat immediately, and T-34s switch targets to a new Grenadier squad, bringing them down. Tiger moves up on the rear and gets a big hit on that T-34, which is trying to pull back to safety. No Panzerfausts will damage any T-34 engines just yet, and every time a Tiger shoots a T-34, it will carefully disengage back towards the repair station. The 2 full health T-34s move up against the Tiger, taking shots at the frontal armor, just trying to hope for good RNG, nothing more, and never overcommitting or over-engaging against it. There is an AT gun available to protect against an overly aggressive flanking maneuver by T-34s as well. So other than forcing a few Grenadier retreats, neither side takes significant losses. Dominator will pull back to safety, simply maintain his hold on the 2 victory points he does have. I think Lumpy is probably going to need at least one more AT gun to be able to win an engagement against this many T-34s. And the Penal Battalion and Combat Engineers are taking control of what little territory remains to be captured here in the north. Combat Engineers throw up another repair station, and these T-34s will be fully repaired quite soon.
Stupid fucking wall! Taking fire!
That T-34 takes a pretty serious amount of damage from AT gun fire. Both of those T-34s fall to about half and willing to pull back for repairs. Tiger getting repaired. Grenadiers force a retreat from the Penal Battalion, down to one man. These two T-34s fell low fast enough that he didn't feel comfortable continuing to engage. And clearly a frontal assault is going to be a little bit costly. I think he needs to try and think about a flank, either around the north or the south. There's definitely plenty of flanking routes available to him. If he keeps just driving straight down the gut, it's possible that he could win with a frontal assault, honestly, with his numbers. But there's no reason for him to gamble on it when he could just come in from a different direction. There's only one AT gun out right now. Second one will be available to protect against the flank soon, unfortunately. I think What Doth Life has a point that it was pretty unpredictable back when you couldn't choose the trajectory of the plane. You just clicked somewhere and hope for the best. Being able to choose the plane's trajectory is a pretty nice change, but back before that was implemented, only like 10 people even had the commander, so...
I have the men ready. T-34 ready for action. Supply sector under attack. You need engineers?
Mine going down there on the road. Another big engagement here in this area. There are 4 T-34s and a KV-2 on the field. I feel like he might be going in too hard without his KV-2 support, though. AT guns getting big shots off on these tanks, and they will all rapidly simply try to disengage, and he's probably wishing he had not made that maneuver. It gets stuck on the victory point flag, and the 2 T-34s just get popped in exchange for nothing. That was a terrible engagement. I don't even know why he went down here. Like, what was that? What was even the point? Jeez. He has 2 more repair stations set up down here. The KV-2 will be a pretty serious problem for those AT guns, and the Tiger will be tasked with somehow trying to destroy that thing. Throws it in artillery mode. Will need to provide vision with his other units. Pretty good opening shot already. Dealing minor damage to that Tiger so far. This T-34 needs some repairs. The other one looking around for other opportunities. Dominator would be in a pretty strong position right now if he hadn't lost those other 2 tanks for no real reason. He should have just waited a little longer for his KV-2 to get to the front line to start putting pressure on those AT guns from a distance.
We are losing supplies to the enemy. Occasionally do something right. The sector is at risk. The enemy has cut off a sector. We have a new T-34 standing by.
KV-2 firing on AT guns at range, taking heavy damage. Target weak point will cruise shock it. Tiger shot bounces. T-34 going in on the rear of that thing. More shots going in on the KV-2 will destroy it. Out of control and destroyed. AT gun wall set up for that T-34 will destroy it. Penal Battalion also wiped. And these 2 tanks didn't even make it to the engagement in time. Big push by Lumpy right there annihilates all priority Soviet targets, and Dominator is reduced to nothing but 2 T-34s, one of which is making a frontal assault into the AT gun wall and taking tons of damage. The other, which is trying to push away a Grenadier squad here in the north, and at no point in this game did Dominator flank. I'm pretty sure every time he engaged against an AT gun, it was frontally. So, 2 AT guns can take on a pretty much unlimited amount of Soviet tanks. If that's how they choose to engage, 2 at a time from maximum range in the front.
Attempting to capture our territory. Take units, ready for orders. T-70 light tank has arrived.
T-70 rolling onto the field. These 2 T-34s rolling around. Hit the teller mine. So he finally did make an attempt at flanking. He does hit a well-placed teller mine. At this point, while I applaud the fact that he flanked at all, his opponent was just too well prepared and he's run out of anything. So, unfortunately, all Soviet forces will be fully destroyed. I think it looked like Dominator had a very real window during which it looked like he was going to win this. But unfortunately, I feel like he messed it up slightly. There was a point at which his opponent had only 1 Tiger with which to counter 4 T-34s. But he didn't quite get aggressive enough, and then when he finally did peak, his opponent was quite well prepared. Didn't capitalize on a window of opportunity that he did have. And the KV-2 didn't perform quite as well as he was probably hoping either. So, well recovered by Lumpy, certainly. He started this game off pretty poorly, and then things kind of went downhill from there. But he did manage to turn things back around thanks to these freshly produced AT guns. So good game, Axis wins.